Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be showing you how to draft out a Princess Dart breast 2. If you are new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell as well to be notified of any new video I post. And to my returning subscribers, thanks for coming back to my channel. So the first thing we want to draft out is our half length. I'm using half length for this measurement. So my half length is 16. 16 plus 1 will give us 17. I'll be marking at 17. And then my bust line and my under bust. My bust line is 9. I'm using 9 as bust line, and the under bust line I'm using 13. 9 and 13 as my bust line and under bust. So the next thing we want to take is our shoulder slope. My shoulder slope is 1. I'm using 1 as my shoulder slope. From the shoulder, you take 1 inches downward, then mark it out. Then let's label it so that we know what those lines are for. The first one is for my shoulder slope. The second one is for my bust line. The third one is my under bust line, and the last one is my half length or waistline. So next thing is we are going to start putting our bodice measurements now. For my bust is 40 divided by 4 will give us 10. I'm using 2 as my sewing allowance, making it 12. So I'll be marking 12 at my bust line. I'm going for my under bust now. My under bust is 34 divided by 4 will give me 8.5 or 8.5 plus 2 for sewing, making it 10.5. I'm using 2 as my sewing allowance, making it 10.5. I'm going to be marking out 10.5 at my under bust line. Then for my waistline, my waist is 36. 36 divided by 4 will give us 9 plus 2 give us 11. I'm going to be marking 11 at my waistline. Connect the dots together from my bust to my under bust, from my under bust to my waist. Connect them all together. My shoulder measurement is 15. So 15 divided by 2 will give us 7.5 or 7.5. Then I'm adding half for sewing to give us 8. So I'm going to be marking out 8. I'll take 8 at my shoulder and also 8 at my bust line. Then I'll connect them together. My shoulder and my bust line, I'll connect the 8 together. Then I'm going to use my curve ruler to draw out my armhole. I'm going to use my curve ruler. Now I'm going to be drawing out my dart. I'm using 4.5 as my dart. So I'm going to take 4.5 at my bust line, 4.5 at my under bust, and 4.5 at my waistline. I'm going to connect that with a straight ruler. And also, if you're using dart of 4 or if your dart is 3.5, whatever dart you are using, that is what you should take here, because this draft is for a plus size. So I'm using 4.5 as my dart. Then I'm going to be marking out my bust points, which is I'm using 10.5 as my bust point, or 10.5 as my bust point. I'm going to be marking it out from shoulder to 10.5. I'm going to be marking it out for my bust point. Same thing goes here. If you are in whatever bust point is, some people might have bust point of 10 or 9.5, depends on you. So 10.5 is my bust point. So now I'm going to be taking 1 inch away from my dart line, 1 inch to the left of my dart line, and 1 inch to the right side of my dart line. I'm going to be taking this 1 inch for both my under bust and my waist line, and then connect them with a straight ruler, 1 inch from the under bust to the waist and from of both sides. So now we're going to be connecting it to the bust point. You're going to be connecting your under bust to your bust point with a curved ruler. You're going to connect it like this, under bust to bust point. And after that, we are going to look for the middle point of your shoulder line, your shoulder to your bust line. We are going to be looking for the midpoint. The midpoint of my shoulder to my bust line is 4.5. The half of 9 is going to give us 4.5, so I'll be marking it that out. So we are going to connect from my bust point to that 4.5. That's what's going to give us our princess dart. So we're going to mark it out from your bust point down to your 4.5. So while cutting our pattern out, we are going to be cutting through these lines from the waist to the under bust, the bust line, and to the shoulder. So that's how we'll get our princess dart breast too. So because we are taking out these 2 inches away from our waist and under bust, I'm going to be extending our under bust and waist by 2 inches, because by the time we finish cutting it, after we finish removing those 2 inches, when we are sewing, if we don't add it to it, there will be nothing left for us to sew it. So we're going to add 2 inches to the under bust and to the waist line, then connect it to the bust. We are adding nothing to the bust because we didn't take anything away from the bust, just the under bust and waistline. So this will now be our new pattern line. So while cutting, we are going to cut from this extended to down to the bust. I'm going to take my neckline. Now my neckline is 3. I'm using 3 as the wideness and 5.5 as the depth of my neckline. Draw the lines and connect it with a curved ruler. Then from my neckline, I'm going to be sloping my shoulder to my shoulder slope. From my neckline, draw a slope down to the shoulder slope. So this is how to draft out a princess dart breast too. I'm going to label them 1 and 2, so that after we cut, we'll know which is which. So for the number 1 panel, I'm going to cut unfold, and for the number 2, I'm going to cut 2 pieces. So first one is cut unfold, and the second one is cut 2. So we're going to cut out our panel out now. So this is it, our princess dart breast 2. Thanks for watching, and please hit the like button and also share this video.